beautiful guest. Are you ready for our opening video? Here we go. Come on, it tells me error. What is cooking here? Hello, my beautiful guests. I am so excited to have all of you here. But before I start and ask you to introduce yourself, I am going to play one of my beautiful sponsors' video. So, my beautiful Dawn, your video is going to be first that I'm playing. And then after your video, I just want to ask you one question and then we will start with the introduction. And I know that you're going to do your introduction when I'm asking you the question. So I am going to play your video. Here we go. I just want to let you know we're all going to move to the side. So here we go. Moving, everyone.
Hello, I'm Dawn Earhart-Biddy. As a mom, life coach, author, international speaker, and humanitarian, my mission is to help people see the greatness within themselves and recognize that we are all connected. At thesecretsofbeing.com, you will find personal development courses, inspiring merchandise, and free resources to help you in your own journey towards a life full of purpose, happiness, and fulfillment. 20% of proceeds from items purchased will go towards funding the work of the Desire to Inspire Foundation. My foundation is dedicated to breaking the cycles of extreme poverty globally. Through our efforts, we bring clean water, education, clothing, food, and most importantly, love to children in need. I believe in the power of love and support, reminding us that every child deserves to feel cherished. Learn more about our journey and how you can be the change you wish to see at thesecretsofbeing.com.
Wow. Thank you so much, my beautiful Dawn. So, my beautiful Dawn, I thank you for being a sponsor for today's show. And I know when we had our coffee chat, you really love to be able to help communities, especially in Africa, to have clean water and to see those beautiful faces. Can you tell us a short story of something that happened with the children receiving water or anything that you can inspire us, please?
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me and letting me share my work I get to do in the world. I have so many stories, and right off the top of my head, I think it was the first borehole that I was part of drilling in Ghana. One of the men, he was about 80 years old, he pulled my partner aside and he said, "Thank you, son. I will get to taste clean water before I die." And when I heard that, I was like, wow, like to be able to make that kind of impact on someone's life is just, it's extraordinary. And I'll cry even talking about it. Like being able to do that is, I feel it's a gift to me.
Wow, that's incredible. I was not supposed to start crying now, but that story really touched my heart because although we are in South Africa, we are truly struggling with water. So, and sometimes we don't have water for days. So I cannot even imagine how people in the rural areas that don't have water. So thank you so much for everything that you are doing, Dawn. You are incredible. Thank you.
Thank you.
My beautiful Scott, can I please ask you to introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Hello, everybody. Scott Burley. I'm an author and a coach at Forward Walking Choices Coaching. I come to you from Ashcroft, Canada. And I'm really grateful that everybody's here and that Sanet invited me. And I really hope we touch some hearts in this world to inspire them to change. That's what's happened in my life. So that's what I really hope to give back. And one of my golden nuggets is invest in yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. And that's where most of us fall short, is the financial part, because we don't think we're worth putting any money into ourselves. And that was a big lesson for me. So thank you, Sanet.
Thank you, my beautiful Scott. If I can move over to Natalie, please can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Hello, I'm Natalie Chilton from Athabasca, Alberta, Canada. So a tiny little town. I've been working on a book for 10 years. It's going to be published this fall and another one next month. So when it rains, it pours. And thank you. And my platform is Break Up with Secrets. So secret keeping and unforgiveness are prisons that we get encased into that cause a lot of isolation. So it's been a personal journey, and I can't wait to share how I've been broken out of that prison.
Thank you, my beautiful Natalie. My beautiful Cindy, please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Eddington, and I'm from Fairport, New York. I am a transformational life coach and holistic healer, and I specialize in helping women navigate the aftermath of divorce. Having gone through a very heartbreaking and heart-opening event with a divorce myself, I truly understand the struggles that come along with that. And so my mission is to help as many women as I possibly can rebuild their strength after a divorce, re-engage their personal power, reignite their passion for life, and renew their hearts so they can start living their best life now.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you, my beautiful Cindy. Just wanted to let you all know, and there is comments coming through on the live chat. So thank you so much, Portia. Looking at all these amazing people, and then wow, we take so much for granted in life. Thank you, Dawn, and also Portia made your beautiful video. So I'm truly inspired by her. Producing and creating your video. And then Scott Portia has a message for you, Scott. You can say that again, investing in self is essential. And then Portia also said, congratulations, Natalie, on your upcoming book release. Oh, thank you, my beautiful Portia, for being here. So if I then can go to Dawn. Dawn, please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
Hi, Sanet. Again, thank you so much for allowing me to share my story and my aha moments with people that have made my life much better. My name's Dawn Earhart Whitty. I live in Los Angeles. I am the founder of the Desire to Inspire Foundation. I'm an author and a speaker, and I love, as I said earlier, I love helping people see the beauty within themselves. I think we all have greatness in each other, in ourselves, and sometimes we forget that. And to have somebody point that out and show you that you are magical and you are amazing, especially when I get to do that with children, that like fills my heart. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. My beautiful Michael, your turn.
Hey, Sanet, and congrats, Natalie. It's a challenge to come up with your book and publish a book. So congrats on that. No, so Michael LeBlanc, I'm in South Louisiana, a little place called Lafayette, Louisiana. Um, my work, whether it's my books, workshops, teaching, speaking, it's really all about how do you align within into your heart center and that divine intelligence. And then how do you manifest your dream fulfilled from that space? Um, and I kind of grew up isolated and lonely on a farm. So today's topic kind of hit home for me. But it's even for folks, it might be a chronic situation. Chronic doesn't mean permanent. So I'll just start off with that comment. But glad to
Thank
be
you.
here. And I
Thank
am
you.
I am a licensed social worker, 34 years, certified coach, Reiki practitioner, those kind of things. So.
Thank you, Michael. And my beautiful ladies and gentlemen, if you never experienced one of Michael's meditation. Ooh, he's gonna blow your socks off. I cannot wait. So, my beautiful viewers out there, in the middle of our 2 hour special, Michael is going to do a meditation for us that will give my beautiful guest time to go out of studio, and the next people that will be coming through will then be coming in, and then we will open the floor for everyone. So my beautiful Howard that is coming on the second round, he says, all star crew, thank you for sharing. Thank you, my beautiful Howard. My beautiful Angena, your turn, my beautiful one. Okay, I didn't mute you. Can you quickly unmute yourself?
That would help. Thank you. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Angela Lala from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm sort of Sanet's neighbor in a big way. I'm a midlife designer coach, and I I'm a multi-talented person and a secret weapon to helping women with their next chapter. I guide incredible women, 47 plus, through the jungle of hot flushes, societal aging expectations, and identity crises that women go through in this period of their life with a dash of humor and a giant glass of wine. That is optional but highly recommended, in my opinion. Um, I'm assertive. I'm so multifaceted. I'm a laughter yoga teacher and facilitator. I'm a trauma release practitioner. I'm an astrologer. I'm a virtual assistant, English teacher, coach. Yeah, I've done numerous, I even forget, sound journey. I've done so many things. So I'm a very interesting character, a little bit serious, shy, introverted, and a little bit bashful. That's me.
Oh, thank you, my beautiful Ingena. And my beautiful Nicole, your turn.
Thank you, Sanet. I'm Nicole Harvick, and I live in Surfside Beach, South Carolina, which is about 10 miles from Myrtle Beach, so you can kind of gauge where I'm at. I'm known as the forgiveness expert and quantum energy healer. What I do is I help you find and release all the trauma that's been stuck inside your body, possibly from childhood or even before. And once you release that, I am here to assist you in walking on your path of emotional freedom. Thank you.
I love that. Thank you, my beautiful Nicole. Brad, before I go to you, my twin, Portia said, Ingena is my long lost twin. Both of us share the same sense of humor about life. So, Ingena, Portia is your twin. So, here is my twin, Brad. When I met Brad the first time, my mouth, and I don't do that often, was like this almost the whole time because Brad and myself are on the same mission. So, my beautiful Brad, my twin, please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, first of all, Sanet, for this incredible opportunity to be here with you and share a bit about who I am and what I do. And to be here among all these beautiful souls is such an honor. So thank you for that. My name is Brad Walsh. I am based in Toronto, Canada. I am a podcast host / producer / coach, also an author and a women's empowerment photographer. So thank you.
Wow. So when I met you the first time, I said to myself, Sanet, we're gonna do beautiful things together, Brad. And that photography, I must remember that because we must do something about that. Thank you
Yes, we
so much.
will.
Thank you. So, my beautiful Scott, if I can go back to you, can you tell us in about 5 minutes what this topic, journey to the heart set connection, and what does it mean for you?
Well, for me, the head to the heart is the hardest journey we can all make. And it took me years and years of stumbling around to connect with that, even though I was working in that direction. And it's sad that there's such a limited knowledge of coaching and a limited knowledge of investing in yourself. Like for me, I watch some of my friends they'll invest to go to the gym and they work out and they get buff, but they don't work out like their mind or their heart. And then they stumble and do the same cycle again. And it was, I think about 6 years ago, I went to this self-development class, and of course they're trying to upsell you to the next course. And in Scott's mind, how dare they try and upsell me to the next course? And I went out to my motorcycle to get on my bike to ride home the last day, and I went to put my leg over the bike, and all of a sudden it was like the light bulb just flicked right on. And it's like, if my mechanic suggested that I needed to put $5,000 into my motorcycle, I would have whipped out my credit card in a heartbeat. And it's like, well, then what's wrong with me? Why am I not worth paying for the next course? And I'm getting chills to even think about it, because it, like, that moment there changed my life. And I was the person that was always so cheap that I wouldn't ask for help or go pay for help. And it's like, if I can implore to anybody in the audience, if you're struggling, keep reaching out and don't give up. And that's why I have the motto, like, an invest in yourself. And from there, I want to share my story. And that's how I ended up writing my book. And it's already impacted a few people. It's changed my family a little bit already from me writing my personal memoirs. And it's, when I was 7, I was almost killed by a car. So I got stunted in growth and stunted with all the friends that I had. And it created a cycle in my life where every few years I would deliberately set myself up where I had to change the cycle of my life. So I kept myself stuck in that freeze trauma. And but I knew nothing about trauma. I just thought I was like a normal person because it wasn't a big thing in the past. And I just want to share that with people and help as many people as I can, because without reaching out and asking for help, we're stuck in our own little minds and we can't get out of loneliness. And once I started, and it's like, I know the trip into chaos is a snowball effect. However, once you get started in the road to recovery or a road to a better life, it snowballs too. And my life's opening up in ways that on the summit right here, like I'm blown away. Like my head wants to tell me I shouldn't be here because of my past, but my past is exactly why I need to be here and share it with people that we can change and grow and become the persons that we are meant to be, not the persons that we're molded and ground into. And so, yeah, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for having me here. And just reach out and change your lives. There's lots of great people. Thank you, Sanet.
Thank you, my beautiful Scott. So when I asked your beautiful wife to be here, she could not be here. And she said, you are available. And I thought, wow, that's incredible. So I just quickly want to mention Lisa, Cindy, and Jenna, and beautiful Nicole is all part of the Diamond Beauties. All the ladies is part of the Diamond Beauties Beauty Forever group. And all the gentlemen are part of the Tanzanite Hero group. But the ladies is our Mrs. Spots. It's every day of the week. There is a half an hour tea party. Anybody can join. If you want to be seen and heard, anybody can join. So just want to mention one thing. In Jenna have done Mrs. Spots for 1 year, and her person that's going to take over from her is beautiful Natalie. So she's going to be our Mrs. Spots for Wednesday coming in August. So we are truly excited for this amazing ladies that is taking a half an hour out of their day to make sure that you have an amazing time to be seen and to be heard. So thank you, my beautiful ladies, for being and doing what you are doing. My beautiful Natalie, can you spend some time to tell us what means journey to a heartfelt connection?
Wow. I'm just overflowing with what's already been said. And Scott, you're perfect for me to follow because so much of your story I can relate to. So amazing recovery. The recovery of herself.
Mhm.
So I see that keeping secrets was a major stronghold for loneliness in my life. And then it was compounded with trauma. And what else was it compounded with? Just feeling unsafe, generally unsafe around human beings. So I just learned to isolate and use alcohol as a bubble of a cushion of comfort. And so that led to great darkness. And then, of course, when you get pressed to the great darkness, then you start to look for the light. And the light started looking for me at the same time. And I began to have, supernatural, spiritual relationship with Creator, and started to be fed insights. And, a major part, that loneliness of soul, that deep spiritual loneliness, often starts in our families, where maybe our parents aren't even connected to themselves. And so they're not able to bond with us. And so you're kind of adrift, like a bubble in the universe. And, but we're never alone. That's the thing, supernaturally, that I've been shown, and which was amazing. And oh my, it's such a huge thing. But I'll just refer to one event, and this is in my first book, Coming: The Ripple Effect. And that event was, I had a near-death experience, and where this reality was peeled away, and I saw everything as light. And we were all like matchsticks, like fireworks. Humans were fireworks, trees were fireworks. And that's how I navigated. I became blind, and I was navigating by the light. And that proved to me that all these spiritual books that said we are light and we are connected proved it. And so no matter how, it's a lie that we're alone, first of all. And just reach out, no matter how counterintuitive it feels. Reach out to a prayer line, reach out to somebody who seems safe, and just start to share some of those secrets. And that will open the door for more light to come into your life and more freedom from the prison of those things.
I love it. Thank you, my beautiful Natalie. So can I quickly give you some feedback? Teresa says, so beautiful, Natalie. You are an inspiration. Portia said, we are never alone. Say that again, Natalie. Say that again. And Teresa said, isn't that the truth? God, go through hard things so we can help others. Way to go, Scott. So there's a message for Scott as well. So Cindy, I am going to quickly skip you. There's a reason for my madness, but you will understand. And also, Michael, the two of you are going to be lost. My beautiful Dawn, can you tell us how do you feel with our topic today, Journey to a Heartfelt Connection? You've got 5 minutes.
Well, again, thank you for having me. I think this topic is so important because I just was in an anthology called Love Notes from the Soul, and my chapter was called Love is Why We're Here. And I know over the course of my lifetime, people are like, that's very naive, but I truly believe love is why we even exist. And I recently read this book by Dr. Robert Waldinger. It's called The Good Life. And it's the longest study ever done on happiness. It's been done over 80 years. They've had 5 different directors. It was done at Harvard. And the book, essentially, they followed this research, these males from Boston. Some went to Harvard and some were in the inner city. And some of you are shaking your head. You might know this book. And what they followed them all throughout the course of their lifetimes. They included their spouses, their children, their grandchildren in the study. They did physical test studies, their heart, their physical health, but they also interviewed them about like what things were important to them. And at the end of the day, the conclusion was love, our connection to each other. That's the most important thing. And I've always deeply believed that in my heart. And I wrote a book last year, and it's called Sacred Words of Africa, because I've learned a few words when I was in Africa that were so powerful to me. And I have one tattooed on me just because it's so amazing. So I thought I'm going to share these words. And one of the words is sawubona, and it means I see you, I value you, you are important to me. And in my work that I get to do that for children, anybody I meet, anybody I come in contact with, whether it's a stranger at the grocery store or a child in Africa or somebody in my family, I want them to know that I value them just because they exist. And I feel like if I can do that with children and plant those seeds with them when they're little, then they don't have to go through all the searching that I had to go through to get to that place where I valued who I am just because I exist. So that drives me. And again, our hearts are where I make all my decisions. And some people think that's ridiculous, the people that are way more in their logic mind, but it's a beautiful way to go. And I've seen so many things in my life, and I look at it, I'm like, logic does not explain how this happened. I had this vision, and 4 years later, 5 years later, it comes to fruition. I'm like, that is a divine thing, and that is coming from my heart. So I'm a heart-centered person in everything I do, and I think that's a wonderful way to live your life. It brings a lot of happiness, peace, and fulfillment in everybody's life.
Wow, I love it. Sabona, beautiful Dawn. Sabona. I just quickly want to scroll down. There is a few messages for you. Susan said, thank you. And that is still for Natalie. Yes, we never alone. That it's so much of divine messages. And then Teresa said, love and connection. And Portia Sabona. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, my beautiful Portia and Therese and Susan for all your comments. So, Michael, I'm going to skip you. I will come back to you. My beautiful Ingeno, can you give us your heart on this amazing topic for this summit?
Sawubona, Dawn. It comes from Africa, so to everybody as well, Sawubona. It's Zulu greeting from where we are in Johannesburg, South Africa. So we get you. Me, I'm a recovering people pleaser. I come from a cultural background where from young you are groomed to be this perfect wife and perfect daughter and perfect woman in this world, passive, subservient, to serve everybody and to make everybody else happy but yourself. So when you are on this journey, and it's nobody's fault, it's just the culture and the tradition that we come from. And I don't think my people that brought me up and my environment knew any better. It was just the best way for them to groom me so that I would be skilled enough and live a good life. And they were just doing their best and protective. But in this journey, you become very disconnected from self. You are not connected to your heart. You're not connected to, and you live through the eyes of other people. You live through the actions of other people. And you do not realize that how your heart, you don't hear your heart, you don't feel your heart, you feel other people's heartbeats. So when I went through the dark night of the soul, like spiritual crisis, my awareness became so sharp. And in this crisis, there was this deep connection with my heart. I cannot even tell you I was hiding in the shackles or being imprisoned by the people pleasing that I loved by. And when the awareness came, it was a big journey of forgiveness. And when that happened, like Nicole puts it, emotional freedom. And that heartfelt connection with myself allowed me to connect with other people on a genuine basis, real, part of me, not my conditioning, not my culture, not my tradition, but me. So, my journey of the dark night of the soul, as I call it, or spiritual crisis, was also a spiritual awakening. It was on so many multiple levels. And you avoid life, you don't even realize you are hiding. You become so super self sufficient, independent. You can't reach out to people. You rather just give, 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 give. You cannot be humble enough just to ask for help. And I've always be the one who's always available, always ready to help, and never ask for me. And I struggled in my own little world. And my personal heartfelt connection to myself has helped me reach out to other people, break free, and become liberated from this whole people pleasing world that I lived in. So it's been a liberating journey. And my mission and vision is to become the voices of all those people pleasers who can't say no, who can't even say a hello. So that is my mission and my vision, mission, vision all in one. Yes.
Wow, I love it. And my beautiful Angela, you and Sari is the two ladies that is the longest in the Diamond Beauties. And in August, it will be 3 years, the Diamond Beauties, and you will be in August, September, you will be 3 years as a Diamond Beauty. So thank you so much for being in my life and being so long in the Diamond Beauties. I really appreciate you. So I've got a few messages for you as well. And Jenna, you are so right. Because of society conditioning, it's easy to connect to everything and disconnect from myself. And beautiful Michelle is here. Oops. I feel this is so profound. And Jenna, thank you for sharing. No, 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 a form of love. Oh, wow. And then Michael, hello, Michael, you done a message for us. Wow, 3 years. Happy anniversary. Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you. And Michelle said, agree, Portia. My beautiful Nicole, all over to you.
Thank you, Sanet. And I want to say that my journey to my heart started about 11 years ago. And the catalyst was a divorce. And what I didn't realize at the time is that every time there was an unkind word, there was a pain, there was an embarrassment, there was shame or anger, what I was doing is I was shutting down my heart. I was putting armor on my heart. I was making my heart to where no one could get to me. And this is something that I think I did in my subconscious. I didn't realize it was doing it. And then all of a sudden, I started thinking something's wrong. As I went through my healing, you can kind of sense things that are off a little. And I have to admit that the most important journey I took was to find my heart again. I didn't know I had lost it, but as I was healing, I realized that I had. And I think the most important thing I did on that journey was learn about forgiveness, learn to practice forgiveness, not just for others, but for myself. And a lot of people don't realize is that forgiveness is for you. You don't even have to see that person you're forgiving. You don't have to talk to them again. And I tell people it's almost selfish because it is strictly for you. And so once I started learning about forgiveness, practicing it, and I used a lot of Ho'oponopono, which is an ancient Hawaiian forgiveness practice. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. And it almost felt as if I was just, everything was melting away, the anger, the pain, the rage that I felt at times. And when I finally broke through, the first thing that I realized is I get to love myself. I'd never thought about that. I loved my kids, my parents, my brothers, my dog, but I'd never thought about myself as a person that was lovable because of what I went through in my marriage. And so I thought, I'm not that bad. If I love those people, why can't I love myself? And that's what I started doing. I started really concentrating on just understanding that I'm not perfect, but the things I did or choices I made, I did it with the information I had at the time. And I didn't do it with malice. And I have to tell you that through learning that, through understanding everything and practicing everything, when you finally find your heart center and you finally peel away everything that's just been built up over the years, you truly love in a different capacity. You love yourself, first of all, but you can love people you've never met in person. You can love on such a deep level that you can just see someone and resonate with them and feel love for them. But another thing that's really wonderful with heartfelt connections is it can be for planet Earth. It can be for animals. You start realizing that you're not the only one alive. Everything is alive. And it really gives you not just a new respect for self, it gives you a new respect for every person you come in contact with. Even if you don't resonate with them, you are going to send love to them because everything comes back to you. You may not be, your vibration might not match, but that's okay. Send them love, send them joy, send them happiness, and let that flow back to you to make your heart even bigger and your capacity for love even more.
Wow.
So thank you for letting me share that, Sanet.
Ooh, I've got goosies. I've got goosies. Look, 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 look. I've got goosies. That is so incredible. I'm going to read now what the comments say, but even if your vibration, if the vibration is not matching, you still can send them love. Beautiful. And what Jenna loved, she said it was incredible, is forgive about your own heart. And then Portia said, forgiveness is for you. So she said, yes, Nicole. Let me scroll down. And then and Jenna said, maybe I will not pronounce it right. Please, Nicole, pronounce that word for me, the Hawaiian forgiveness.
Ho'oponopono. It was actually gifted to me from the big island of Hawaii on a trip there. So it's really sacred to me. I love
Wow.
you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you.
Wow. So you and beautiful Michael have something in common, but he will tell you now with what's regarding that. And then Portia said, I got to love myself. I need a t-shirt with this sentence for every day of the week. And then our beautiful Dawn. Yes, Nicole, we are all connected. Heartfelt connections to Mother Nature. Love that. The power of flow, forgiveness, and love is absolute connection. Wow, Nicole, it brings it. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, my beautiful Therese. Brad, it's all over to you, my twin.
Thank you again so much, Sanet, for having me. And thank you to all my beautiful co-panelists who have been sharing and the vulnerability that you've all been sharing. You're all doing an amazing job. So thank you for that. This topic, Journey to Heartfelt Connections, it's so important because I believe that our journey to connect heartfelt connection starts with us. Everything, I believe, starts within us. We are the foundation for all of it. When we do the work on ourselves and we go through that journey, it only emanates out and flows and causes that ripple effect out to the people that we touch and we come in contact with on a daily basis. Now, I haven't shared this very much. I don't share this too often, but I dealt with a lot of bullying when I was a kid. I went through a lot of bullying. And so that affected my self-confidence. And of course, my ability to make connections with people. I was painfully shy as a kid. I would rather just keep to myself. And I mean, I had friends growing up, but making those connections was tough because of the bullying that played a part of it. And trying to break out of my shell, I was so introverted, and trying to break out of my shell was very tough for me. And that took a number of years of doing the work and stepping into now what I'm doing, the work that I'm doing, working in the women's empowerment space over the past, it'll be 7 years next month. Connection has become such a massive part of what I do with my photography, of course, because I have to connect with my clients, and also the podcast, connecting with people to bring them into my space to share their stories. So learning that the importance of connection has been incredibly healing and helpful for me, because I have met some of the most incredible and inspirational human beings I have ever met in my entire life over the past 4 years. This journey has been nothing short of awe-inspiring. Hearing all of these women's stories with what they have accomplished and what they have gone through, I wonder to myself sometimes when I'm speaking with these women, how on earth are you still even standing after what you've been through? But it's all tied back to that connection and having a support system and a community. Those things are the foundation for life. We cannot go through this life alone. We can't do it alone. We cannot do entrepreneurship alone. None of it can be done alone. We have to rely on each other, and we have to support each other. It's my belief that a big part of the reason that we're all here on planet Earth is to support each other, to lift each other, to cheerlead each other. And I know, Dawn, you mentioned, a few other people have mentioned it, the importance of love. That is the highest vibration on the planet. We all need that. John Lennon and Paul McCartney had it right. All we need is love. That is all we need. And it's amazing when you can step into that and step into your authenticity and embrace that, because again, everything starts here with us, with ourselves. We have to do the work here, and then everyone else around us benefits from that. So connection is vital to life. And that's just been my journey, and that's been my experience. It's been absolutely incredible. So thank you.
Wow. All we need is love. Tra-la-la-la-la.
That's
Thank
it.
you, Cindy. So, my beautiful Brad, Therese, put your name in brackets. That means Brad. I must pronounce it the way it's there. Is an amazing rock star and connecting. At connecting again, when we do the work, our trauma, we become unstoppable. And then Portia said, Brad, thank you for being so vulnerable. I can relate being bullied and introverted growing up. Photography has been my anew for experience and healing. And then we can't do it alone. Susan said, all we need is love. Yes, Susan, all we need is love. Tra la 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 la. Cindy? There you are, Cindy. Thank you, thank you. Michael said connection is vital to life. Well said. And then Michelle said, this is what I'm currently learning and opening myself up for more growth. Thank you. And Portia said, we have to do the work here. I love it. I love it. So, my beautiful guest, I am going to go to Cindy. But before I do that, my beautiful Ingeno, can you please tell us your Mrs. Spots on what day is that?
I'm the Wednesday Mrs. Spots, and it's called A Cup of Friendship.
Wow. And my beautiful gentlemen, if you're wondering why Mrs. Spots, God gave me a vision with a teapot, the Mrs. Spots from Beauty and the Beast. And that's why I've got 7 Mrs. Spots, because she was like a host and a beautiful, try to get everybody together. So my beautiful Nicole, can you tell us when is your Mrs. Spots?
Yes, mine is always on Monday, and we had a wonderful group today. It is at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and I absolutely love doing this for not just for myself, but for others. So, like you always say, Sanet, everyone's welcome.
Oh, wow. Thank you, my beautiful Nicole. So, Natalie, you need to get yourself a name because you're going to take over from Njena. At the moment, you are standing in for our Sunday Mrs. Spots. Me and you are both there, so anybody can join. My beautiful Cindy, can you tell us about your Mrs. Spots, please?
Yes, so I am the Friday Mrs. Potts. I'm at 9 a.m. Eastern, and mine's Tranquil Hearts, a Cup of Comfort. Come one, come all, come as you are. So if you're in your pajamas, that's okay. Just come on in. It's a warm and wonderful place to be, making really great connections with some really fine women. And we just open up to whatever conversations are available to us. I do a lot of oracle cards just to say, like, okay, something fun, but something interesting. And each message seems to really relate with whatever women have showed up for that day. So I invite you in. The water's warm. Come on in.
Wow, thank you. So, my beautiful Cindy, you're going to stay the full 2 hours. So, we're going to hear a little bit more about you. But can you spend about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes on this amazing topic journey to heart center connections? I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So, I could touch point with everything that everybody has said so far. I mean, I resonate with the stories. My heart opening event was the heartbreaking event of a divorce. Moved around a lot as a young child, bullied quite a bit as well because I was so tiny. People didn't take me serious. Instead of introverting, though, what I ended up doing was becoming the chameleon. And so, whatever group that I felt that I needed to fit in, I would basically morph into that, so that I would be accepted. And that was my way of, being accepted. It's interesting. I think one word that was mentioned here that came up that I want to hit on a little bit more is the vulnerability, because again, programming is big, right? In terms of the messages that are handed down from our families, the generational, cultural, societal, institutional, all these things impact us. And again, we all are doing the best that we can with that information. For me, I was taught that vulnerability, don't be weak. Vulnerability was seen as weakness and that you needed to be strong. And so again, I resonate with you, Anjana, in terms of like armoring up. My heart was pierced and broken, and I armored up. I went into survival mode. I had some limiting beliefs in terms of perfectionism, where I truly believed that the only way for me to be loved was to be perfect. And so that took on its own life. I could go on and on about that. I'll leave that for another time. But these are the things that I think really impact us in terms of like being able to come into our heart center. And my journey was a long one. It took a long time for me to actually like open up, get the awareness, become more conscious of how do I connect with me? Because I didn't even know who I was. The heart piercing event, this is after the divorce, as I was on a yoga journey, because I'm also a certified yoga therapist. And I did some training, and there was a instructor that was doing yoga for grief relief. And I can't remember what he said or the posture we were doing. All I know is at the end, I crumpled on the floor and just burst into tears, and I was shaking, and I didn't even know why. And it was just, oh my, what is happening here? And so I ended up working with him because he was also a somatic therapist. And the big thing is that I had tucked, and it was such a master at tucking my feelings. It's like, I don't want to feel that now. I'm going to tuck that for a rainy day. Oh, I don't want to feel that. Well, what ended up happening is the cupboard was so full, and that he did something that pierced right through, and it just all came out. And so I had to learn that I could feel my feelings, and it was okay to feel my feelings, and it was okay to feel sad. And it was okay to be alone in that. And I think that to me was really a step forward for me to start really tuning into my own heart and recognizing that, I do need to like love myself and find out who I am. So again, it's just a little snippet, but I'd have to say that, these are the things, right? It's the programming, it's the heartbreaking but heart opening events, however they've manifested, that lead us into finding out who we are. And when we do that, boy, for me, that was the connection to source, right? That's where I started my journey to really feel I'm about something bigger than just this. And so, there's more to say, there's more to tell, there's more to the story. But I think for now that's probably vulnerability. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. You're not alone. You're not alone in this. And ask for the help. All of the things that everybody said so far, I totally resonate with. And I love you all. And thank you, Sanet, for letting me share.
Wow. So Portia said, love our Mrs. Spots. And Gina said, yes, Mrs. Spots is fun and a loving vibe. I had to be perfect to be loved, Cindy. That hits deep for me. Wow. Thank you for that, Cindy. I can relate with Cindy's face. And Gina, help me with the wording there, please, my beautiful one.
I said I can relate with you, Cindy, on so many levels.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. So my beautiful ones, Michael is going to do a 5 minutes meditation for us. But I wanted to say thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing your heart. I am going to play a snippet of my song, a snippet, because it says cover the world with love. That is my my song's title. I just need us to play a snippet of it, but I'm going to ask you, will you have a dance with me? Please say yes. Oh, thank you. My beautiful viewers out there, will you please have a dance with us? It's up till the butterfly, and then I will stop it. Yeah, I just have to see before putting on the glasses. Here we go.
Walking on sunshine or dancing in the rain. Sprinkle me with fairy dust so I can fly away. Smiling at a moonbeam or squinting in the sun. Sprinkle me with fairy dust and cover me with love.
Here comes the butterfly.
From butterflies to eagles.
Oh, thank you, my beautiful guests. Thank you, my beautiful viewers, for dancing with us. So, a lot of those words I have given to beautiful Jennifer. She have composed the song, and she has also have sing it for me, because when I do have my end out, I cannot play a copyright music, and this is mine. So I'm happy with that. So, my beautiful guests, I am going to play Cindy's video. And then what I am going to do, I'm going to, before playing Cindy, you are welcome to wave goodbye. And then I will play Cindy's video. And then, oh, Cindy, you know what? Let me just see if your video could not come in, and then let me just see. Just give me 1 second, please, my guest. Oh, your video is here. So my beautiful guest, I'm sorry, Brad, because I had to try and get a video in 3 times, and it keeps on telling me error. No, I don't have time for error. I have to be here in front of my beautiful guest and the viewers, and it's here. So, my beautiful guest, just give me let me take a breath. Michael, you see, I did a beautiful breath there. So, my beautiful guest, you are welcome to wave and say goodbye. Unmute yourself. Then I will play Cindy's video. Then I will be able to take you out of studio. You are so welcome to go and let your relay partner know that they can enter it. But from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you so much for giving us your heart. And then I will see, thank you, my beautiful twin. I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Natalie, I'm so sorry. I will all see you tomorrow with our post meeting, and we're going to have some more hosts and some more podcast members there to come and see and meet you, because you are also going on their platforms. So I'm triple excited for our post meeting. So bye, my beautiful guest. Bye bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Hey,
So
Bye.
yes,
thank you
Bye,
so much.
everyone.
thank
Beautiful. Beautiful to meet you all. Bye.
Nice to meet
Here
you all.
goes Cindy
Bye,
says video.
everyone.
Stay on
Time to
YouTube for the
connect.
visualization.
Heartfelt connections. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, this is Cindy Eddington from Tranquil Heart Wellness. As a transformational life coach and holistic healer, my mission is to help as many women as I possibly can navigate the aftermath of divorce. Because having gone through one myself, I truly understand the challenges and struggles that come along with it. So I want to help as many women as I possibly can to rebuild their strength, reignite their passions in life, re-engage their personal power, renew their hearts so they can start living their best life now. You know, when one door closes, there's another one waiting for you to walk through into a bigger and brighter future. Yes, you can rise from the ashes of divorce like a phoenix and rewrite a brand new happy ever after. And if you need support to get there, reach out. The links will be provided. I offer free resources and free consultations to anyone who's in need.
I was meant for people to stay until your video, and then I start leaving, and it's okay. So I just quickly want to mention to Scott. Scott, there in the top corner there, you will see Leave Studio. You can just click on the link. Thank you. My beautiful Michael. Cindy and myself is going to be here for you. And you can start your beautiful meditation. And then in the next session, I'm going to ask you also your question. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. So I can start now?
You can start now. Thank you so much.
Great. And you can hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you beautifully. Thank you.
I'll do my best to keep track of time also.
Let me just get the right one. Okay. You can talk and then it will go on to you.
Okay. So the meditation we're going to do is really to journey from your headspace to your heart space. And I'm going to call it making peace with your struggles, because that's really sometimes what's in our way of settling in our heart is we resist a lot of things going on in our life for various reasons. But regardless of the reasons, there's a place of making peace and then connecting further. So that's what we're going to do. And really what I'd ask you to do is breathe and sense your breath, but I'm asking you to sense your breathing in your heart center. I can ask you to sense the breath in your left nostril, and you could do that. But if you let your focus shift to your heart space, your heart center, and begin to sense your breathing into that space and really out of that space, and just normal breath, whatever that is for you. I'll also invite you to place your hand on your heart, just as a way to strengthen your focus and feel and sense your heart center. So just begin sensing the breath. Doesn't matter what you're thinking, doesn't matter what you're noticing in your surroundings. Any thoughts, any sounds, any distractions. Just sense your breathing instead. There's no thoughts you need to stop. There's no thoughts you need to change. I just want you to sense your breath instead. And sense your breath in your heart center. And just it's a subtle shift moving from your head space to your heart space. And just using your breath as a way to move there. And again, just a couple of more breaths, but sensing your heart. And as you breathe into your heart, let a couple of your breaths equal a breath that says that all is well. Your body, your being knows how to breathe a breath that says all is well, regardless of anything going on in your world. So in this moment, sense the breath in the heart. Breathe and let your body and being breathe in a way that genuinely says all is well. It might be a little fuller breath. It might be a slower breath. Whatever it is, let your body breathe, but let it be a breath that says that all is well. And just notice the shifts within you as you reach for that breath. Notice your ability to breathe this breath in this moment, regardless of anything going on. Your thoughts don't have to line up in any kind of way. Conditions in your world don't have to improve in this moment for you to breathe a breath that says all is well. Just keep settling into this heart space. And when your mind wanders or wonders if you're doing it right, or wonders if something's supposed to be happening, just notice those are thoughts. Let them be. Let me just sense my breath instead. Let me just enjoy the sensation of breath in this moment. And as you settle into this heart space, I'm also to invite you to sense this divine space, just a light, a presence, an intelligence. And just sensing the breath and sensing that divine space. In this heart center. And as you just notice subtle shifts of settling in, of moving from your head to your heart. And just sensing, thinking, feeling this divine presence, energy, light, love, also in this space. And take another breath, but let it be a breath that says all is well. And in this heart space, in this divine space, I just want you to rest yourself just as you are, nothing needing to be different, nothing needing to change. There's nothing you need to fix. There's nothing you need to improve. as you are, just rest yourself and sense yourself resting it in this space. There may be various struggles, issues, people. Whatever the issue, whatever the struggle, whatever it is you're trying to change, you're praying for change. Could be a health condition, could be loneliness, whatever it is. Let it be. And just rest it in this divine space. Imagine an ice cube in your hand, and you're simply resting the ice cube in the sun. There's no effort to force the ice cube to change. The energy of the sun is enough to transform the ice. So just rest you, all the things you love, all the things you struggle with about yourself. Rest both of those, all of those, in this heart space. Have a moment of trying to be pleased with you, completely pleased with you. The divine in you is completely pleased with you. Needs nothing different from you. So be pleased as best you can. And rest you in this divine light. If there's a struggle, a situation, just sense resting it here in this heart space, like the ice cube in the sun. And just leaving it rest, letting that divine light surround it, letting that divine light seep into it. There is that divine presence within the struggle, around the struggle. In time. And just resting it, letting go of your need to fix it, to change it. Just for now, make peace and let this light tend to it on your behalf. If there's a person you're struggling with, let them be as they are. And just rest it and rest them in this space as is. Again, just like the ice cube in the sun. And I want you to just keep doing your best to rest everything in this space. This heart space is immense. It's greater than you know. So rest you, the good, the things you struggle with. And again, for this moment, be pleased with you, love you as you are, not later, but now. Rest your struggle here. Rest your situation here. Rest that person here. In this moment, let everything just be. Nothing to fix, nothing to solve. Just letting the ice cube rest in the sun. Keep sensing your breath. If something distracts you, breathe, sense your breath, and come back. Let a couple of your breaths again equal all is well. And just breathe a little bit more into your heart. A little slower, a little fuller. Letting it open just a little bit more. Knowing it's big enough to handle you and all things in your world. So now I have no idea where we are in time. I can't hear you.
Sorry, my beautiful.
I can't hear you again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So now it's good. Thank you so much, my beautiful Michael. It was beautiful. I think it was about 13 minutes, and it's okay.
Oh, sorry.
But it was beautiful. And Cindy, I know that you were hearing his session from, or his meditation from the beginning, and some of you were in the back, and then you also, like Wendy, close your eyes, Portia. So just may I ask, my beautiful Cindy, how was the meditation for you?
Oh, Michael, it was beautiful. You have such a soothing voice. I mean, and I was like zoning. I went like completely into it, really connecting inner. It was just spectacular. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Sorry about the extra 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to quickly start off by beautiful Dar's video. Dar is also one of my beautiful sponsors. And then we're going to start off with the introduction. Therese, you will go first. Portia, then Wendy. And please remember to tell us where you're from. Howard, my miracle man. Beautiful Susan. Every time I think about Susan, I just know that angel wings. I even put an angel wing in her video, so I will play her video in a little bit later. But Dar, my beautiful Dar, here is your video. Thank you so much for being my sponsor for today as well. Here we go, my beautiful ladies and gentlemen.
Well, hello there. My name is Dar Geiger, and I am an author, speaker, and joyologist. And I just want to say that I love being who I am today. I'm blessed to be me, and I'm blessed to be a part of a relationship with my dear friend Sanet and her ministry to people, bringing love and teaching us how to care for ourselves, the importance of it all. And my book is entitled Reignite Your Joy, Let God Lead Your Dance Through Life. And I wrote my story. It's based on my experience of recovery from addictions, the loss of two soulmates, breast cancer and how I was assigned to be a joy giver to you by my God. And so I hope you all have a blessed day, and I thank you for this opportunity. Bye-bye.
My beautiful Dor, please can you introduce yourself? And then did you see I made all a new video for you, and you look beautiful, my girl.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Dar Geiger, and I am an author, speaker, and joyologist. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska.
Thank you, my beautiful Dor. I will be coming back to you. Therese, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hey, loves. I'm from sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm actually a native, which is weird because everybody leaves. I don't know. What I do is I'm the intuitive business mentor, and that means I blend my background being a psychotherapist for 25 years and then a business coach, business mentor for 25 years. And on top of it is God's gift to me is I have amazing ninja-like intuition. And so I work with people. Well, have you ever known like, there's more for me. And yet I can't, there's something in maybe it's me, maybe I'm in the way, right? So what I help people do is I help free them because I work with mission-driven business owners. They know they're here to make a difference, and I help them actually do that.
And you're also our Mrs. Spots for Thursday. So I'm going to talk about the Mrs. Spots. Beautiful Doris, our Mrs. Spots for Sunday. And beautiful Portia, you are our Mrs. Spots for Saturday, the fun house. But we're going to talk about it in a minute. Beautiful Portia, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I am Portia Booker. I am from Cleveland, Ohio, known as the Mistake on the Lake, and where we're filming Superman currently. I am a TV host, producer, and also a grief awareness advocate where I give people the space to let their grief shine because I'm a firm believer that all grief is valid. Thank you so much, Sanet, for having me.
Thank you so much. My beautiful Wendy, can you please introduce you to us? And you from my favorite place, second favorite place, because my grandchildren are in New Zealand. So you are already in our next day. You are in our future. So please introduce yourself. Oh, I'm so sorry, Wendy. I have muted. Let me just unmute you. Just there you go.
Thank you, Sanet, for that wonderful introduction. And yes, New Zealand is a beautiful place to be. So my name is Wendy B. King, and there's a reason why there's the B there, but that's another topic for another day. I'm a life coach and grief counsellor and emotional intimacy expert. And how do you define that? I had a beautiful message from a client the other day. She said to me, Wendy, you are a healer of hearts and a protector of my psyche. So that is what I do, and that's what I had to do with myself, and that's what I do with others. And I just feel like it's a wonderful gift.
Wow, I love it. When we had our coffee chat, you blew me away, my beautiful Wendy. I cannot wait for you to tell us a story when I come back around. Thank you. My beautiful miracle man that I saw in New York, New York, New York. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Sanet. And you are my dancing queen and the flying butterfly. So glad to be here. I'm Howard Brown. I am, yes, Mr. Shining Brightly from Michigan. And I am a best-selling author, an award-winning international speaker, and an inspirational podcaster and a survivorship coach. I don't know if you've heard of one of those before, but I'm a 2-time stage 4 cancer survivor, 30 years apart. We all get knocked down in life. It's our job to use our light to get back up again and again, and we'll show you how. Love being here.
Wow, I love it. I love it. My beautiful Susan, before I give it to you, I want to say thank you for being the 4th person that have sponsored the show this time, the Summit, Love Illuminated Summit. And are you ready for me to play your video?
Oh, sure.
Here we go.
Unstoppable. Unstoppable in your business. Unstoppable in life. I've worked with so many entrepreneurs that are doing really big things, but they are struggling with chronic pain and anxiety. So I knew I needed to create this program, 12 Weeks to Unstoppable, Overcoming Pain and Anxiety, through energy healing sessions, techniques to ease anxiety, boost your vitality. You will feel unstoppable. If your business is ready to be rekindled and change how you show up, this program is designed for you. You matter. What you do matters. And it's time for you to soar into the life that you were created for. Contact me, Susan, at formtosoar.com, and let's soar you into that new life now.
Did you see the annual wings at the end? So that banner at the end. So all of my sponsors, Cindy, Susan, Dar, and also Dawn, your banners will go into our amazing Diamond Moment magazine for next month to say thank you for being my sponsor. So my beautiful Susan, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Sanet, and thank you for all that you do for all of us. So I'm your vibrant energy engineer, and I have my healing gifts really are to help you ease your chronic pain, anxiety, all the things that keep you and stop you from being who you are meant to be in this world. We all have a divine purpose. We all have a light to shine, and we need to be there now because it's time for us to help and be who we're meant to be in this world. So I am here to help you get there as quickly and as safely and gently, but as quickly as you can. And one of the things that I use are angels. I am a devout angel connection person, and I just allow that information to come through to support you, and that is really knowing that we all have that support, and I am helping you to utilize those beautiful resources as well, so that especially entrepreneurs can have that thriving, impactful, active life that they're meant for.
Thank you, my beautiful Susan. So, my beautiful Portia and Therese and Susan and Howard, you have all given us in the first hour some comments, and now is the first half. They are giving us some comments. So, I just quickly want to say the first hour, Portia said the first hour was amazing. Brad said it was so amazing. It was a heartfelt connection. And then Dawn said it was beautiful, Michael. They loved your meditation, my beautiful Michael. Brad said, oh, thank you so much. I told them, Michael, you're going to blow their socks off. And Brad said, woohoo, Therese. So you know Brad as well, Therese. And Dawn said, love this, Therese. And Brad said, hi, Portia. And hi, Wendy. Hi, Howard. Very powerful, Howard. Hi, Susan. And hi, Susan. Thank you so much, my beautiful guest, for giving us comment. My beautiful Laura, if I can start with you. Our session today is called Journey to a Heartfelt Connection. Can you spend some time, about 4 minutes, to say how this topic is so important for you, please? And then may I just ask all the rest if you can mute yourself so that we don't hear typing, please. Thank you. My beautiful Dor. Okay, let me just make sure you are unmuted, Dor. Just give me 1 second. You are unmuted.
I apologize. I thought you were saying somebody else was supposed to talk first.
No, I want you to come, my beautiful Dor.
I'm looking at all the notes, and I guess I don't handle distractions very well. So please repeat your question, hon.
I just wanted to ask you, our session, our summit today is called Journey to Heartfelt Connections. How do you feel about connecting?
Oh boy, it's my hot button subject because that's my strength. I am a connector. and I love meeting new people and seeing how maybe one of people can meet to connect. So I do a lot of that kind of thing where I know two people, they've got the same interest or something that they could value and help one another with. And so connecting is a very important part of my life, and for myself personally as well. So I connect with others, and I love investing in people's lives. And so this is a beautiful subject, because without connection for me, it's a very, very dark place to be if I can't connect with people. And so it's a very valuable subject. So thank you for inviting me to be part of this.
Thank you, my beautiful Dor. And can you tell us, how do you help others to connect not only to themselves, but as in groups as well? Please.
How do I help people connect with groups? Just by what I had said previously, that I see a need. I have a intuition with women in particular. I love women. I have a heart for them, and I sense, probably because of knowing myself well enough, I can sense sometimes what a woman needs, and I pray. I pray for them. I pray for God's guidance to help me direct and help other women in the way that God leads me to do. And many times it's connecting them to myself or connecting them to other women, that sort of thing. So I let my God guide me.
Wow, you are amazing, and you are also my prayer warrior. Thank you so much, my beautiful Dor. My beautiful Michael, can you tell us this immense topic of connection? How do you feel about the topic?
So, so I grew up on a farm in South Louisiana, and I was kind of the youngest. So my friends were really cows, chickens, the fields, hiking, the great outdoors. And I grew up, my parents were beautiful people, high school sweethearts. But let's just say that soap opera, All My Children, became the life of my home. So there were, affairs, and there were physical abuse, and there was alcoholism, and there was all this turmoil. But for me, it was just life, right? It was just, I didn't really know the impact it was having on me. And my role was to be the one who was okay, because there was too much shit, so I didn't want to add to that. So my heart journey was knowing I felt horrible in life, but I should feel better. And I was starting my master's in social work. And a little bit before that, I was going to be a priest. And I was like, well, I'm not religious. I'm gay. The Bible's so. And it's like, I had a moment of wisdom in my 20s. It's like, well, don't be a priest. That would not be the way to go. But spirituality was strong for me. And I remember firing God in one day. And so this blend of, I knew I wanted to be better, and I knew I should be better, but I didn't know how to do that. And I was going to go to grad school to be a therapist. And it's like, well, maybe I should go into therapy. And so I started my own journey there. And what I'll say is, it is a journey to your own heart. But I will say there's just a lot of shit between there and here. And there's feelings most people don't want to deal with, and they don't want to feel. And I didn't know I had, when my heart broke and there was a lot of discharge and a lot of crying. And I remember in a meditation one time, asking God, well, why did you have to do snot when we cry? What the hell was that about? But there was this I didn't know all that was in me. Right. And to get to me, to get to Michael, to get to my heart again, it was like you had to kind of drill through the muck. And I had to deal with the muck, and I had to deal with how the hurts around me and the hurts of other people, and what it was the impact it had on me, and what all that did to me. So when I hear people we talk about connecting to your heart. Just know it's not necessarily this graceful rainbow and butterflies experience. There are those. Don't get me wrong. I've had numerous, when I'm in prayer and meditation, just spiritual experiences that the amount of energy, the amount of feeling, the amount of sensation, you open your eyes and it's like, where's this coming from? And it's like, it's all coming from in here because you're tapping into that higher divine kind of energy. And it's kind of like I did in the meditation. It's like if you rest you in that divine energy, it's like resting the ice cube in the sun. You can really trust that energy to transform. And as that happened in my own heart, there's just a lot of emotion and a lot of stuff that you clear along the way. To me, the beauty is I feel like I'm very okay with me, right? I had to come out as a gay man. There were all kind of things. And it's like, but I just feel like life can do what it's going to do and I'm going to be okay, right? But that only came from that journey. So there's a ramble of stuff for you.
Thank you, my beautiful Michael. My beautiful Cindy, can you add on to this amazing connection that you started to talk about just before at the end of the first session?
Certainly. And like, where did I leave off, right? The journey is long. I think that sometimes people might interpret that, when we come to these summits or whatever, it took us just like that. We woke one day and it's all done. And maybe for some that's true. For me, it's been a really long journey. It's taken me, 25 years to get to the point where I actually finally feel like I can love myself fully, flaws and all. And that really it's all about being vulnerable. I left off with saying that, my heart opening event was a heartbreaking event with a divorce. And, I built up a really tough, almost impenetrable shield around my heart. And so that closed me off to lots of things. It closed me off to myself, to the people around me, closed me off to source. And so being open, learning to ask for help, because that was so hard. I was trained that, you don't ask for help. It's like, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, don't be crumpled over there crying in a corner. So, there was a lot of tucking of emotions and feelings. And, I'm sure Portia will talk a little bit about this too, but it was really a lot of grief. There was so much grief that I just did not want to face. I didn't want to feel it. And I didn't want to open myself up to be vulnerable. And I think that that's such a key to making that heart-centered connection, is to open yourself up to being vulnerable. Feel what you need to feel. Know that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to stumble and fall, because I was in the perfectionism mode. So I had to learn that we are perfectly imperfect as human beings. We are perfectly imperfect. And so having that recognition really, again, allowed me to come fuller into myself and embrace myself. And that's where it all is, right? The more that we can love ourselves, we stop judging ourselves. And when we stop judging ourselves, then we don't judge others. And we make that heart-centered connection, not only with ourselves, but with everyone around us, because we're letting go of judgment. We're understanding that, for me, it's understanding everybody's on their own journey. They're all on their own journey, just as I am. And we're all going to learn things maybe at different stages and different paces. And it's okay. And so we can love each other from a divine perspective, right? Just from being a part of humanity and being a part of this universe and being a part of the all and everything. So that's my little tag on, if you will, to what I mumbled about in the beginning. And I thank you, Sanet, for again letting me come here, letting me share and be with these beautiful people that you've gathered today to talk about a really important, I think, topic.
Thank you. I handpicked all of you for a reason. So, my beautiful Cindy, I just saw, where is Michael's message now? Oops, a daisy. Michael, you said so true. I'm so sorry. True, Cindy, there's lots of grief to go through. And then I saw another message for you. Cindy, feel that Jesus, yes, Cindy, feel what you need to feel. Perfectly imperfect, 100% true. Beautiful. My beautiful Therese, can you elaborate on the topic, please, for today?
Of course I can. So a lot of the work I do is I'll just share with you. I pick up my pendulum and I can go, what happened when you were 7? I literally am guided to where the block is. And I was working with a woman. I'm going to start with a story. I was working with a beautiful woman. We're going to call her Jean. And she was so held back. And when I said, what happened when you were in 3rd grade? She said, oh gosh, it was so horrible. I was new in the school. And I asked the teacher to let me go to the bathroom, and she didn't, so I peed myself. And you can feel all the feelings. And I said, oh, Jean, can we just send her love, that younger version of you? And she said, no, I hate her. I said, okay, well, we're going to keep talking. And that's what we do. So there's events that happen to us, and we make judgments. And so we hold ourselves, those little tiny child parts, instead of saying, oh, my poor beautiful baby, come here. Of course that happened to you. You're beautiful and lovable. And I literally have never heard somebody say, I hate that part of me. I'm like, well, you're perpetrating yourself then. You're just as bad as a teacher. We got to stop this. So I just want to say my invitation is this for you. Number 1, what stories are you carrying? Because we are as sick and we suffer as much as our stories. And so anything that comes up for me, the way I do it, because I'm relating to Michael, of course, us therapists are all nuts, right? Like we're all wacky. I'm sorry, maybe not you. I was. And I relate to Cindy, right? Because we get conditioned that we have to be perfect, and we have to look a certain way and have it all together. Ha! We know that's not true. Anyway, so the stories we have, you have to literally deconstruct the story. Is it true that I have to be perfect? Is it true that I'm only loved if? I'm only loved when? You have to literally, what are the stories that I'm telling myself that are keeping me suffering, keeping me disconnected, not feeling love? So that's number 1. And I will tell you, I'm like, can I show you my bicep here? I'm like a shame buster. I am. Okay, let's show that again. I work hard for these guns. So for me and David Hawkins, shame is the lowest frequency. And it is the lowest, most toxic, painful thing in the planet, right? And guilt is like, gosh, if I call you a bad name or I step on your toe, I can go, oh, I feel so horrible. That's about my actions, and I can amend and I can grow and say, I don't really want to be that person. But shame is about who you are. Shame is about you're not enough. You weren't loved. You're just not right. Mine, I was a sickly child. The first memories of my life, I'm in an oxygen tent. I'm 2 years old and I'm all by myself. So I learned I can't even trust my freaking breath to come in next. So that set me up to be an overachieving people pleaser therapist. Of course. And so I want you to really look at, is there anything in me that has this, I will be accepted when, I'll be good enough if, I can't do that until, ... Because that's the shame voice that is perpetuating the myth that who you are is not perfect, whole, and complete. And so what I want you to it's all about introspection. It's like you have to watch the stories, watch the feelings. And one tip that I have with my clients, I will just say, what would Therese tell you right now? Because you're being shitty to yourself. You're running the bad stories. I who love you, I who see you, I hold the truth of you. I hold the God in you. I can hold that. What would I tell you? It doesn't have to be Therese. It could be God. It could be your partner. It could be somebody, if somebody that knew you and loved you said, really? Really? Can I share with you how I feel about you? That can shift its significance. So those are a few little quick tips, because you can't stay in the oh, I suck. Life is just short. You're stop. Be aware. Do some interventions, and then do your work in the world, because that's what we're here for, right? So that's how I help people with connection.
Wow. Bratzy, you are a powerhouse. Yes, indeed. And then I love you say shame busters.
Shamebuster, baby. That's right. That's right.
And we are enough. Thank you, my beautiful Brit. Portia, all over to you, my beautiful one.
I gotta say, Sanet, that this topic really hits home for me because I come from a house of love. And what really taught me about love is my loss. We are coming up on the second year of my mom's transition on July 7th. And I remember when I think about my mom, the first thing that comes to my mind is her unconditional love, right? And how much she poured into me, how much I continue to pour into myself, right? Because when she transitioned, it was almost as though I felt an earthquake come into my entire life. All the pieces of my life were before me, and I couldn't pick them all up at the same time. But there was beauty in that. There was a miracle within that mess. And that miracle was me being able to take a step back and really ask myself, Portia, where is this love gone? Where has this love gone? Okay, mommy's transitioned, my father's transitioned, but where has that love energy truly gone? That love energy needed redirection because grief is love with no place to go, right? And how can we take that love energy that we put into a job, that we put into our friendships, that we put into our parents, that we put into everything in this world? How can we take that and redirect that back to ourselves? And in the last 2 years, I've seen that within myself. Excuse me. One of the stories that I think I shared with a lot of you when my mom transitioned, when I went to pick up her ashes from the funeral home, I'm driving down the street, putting her ashes in the back seat. And literally, I get this epiphany as I'm driving home. Portia, what if your mom's transition is for your transformation? And it didn't make any sense to me then. This was 3 weeks after my mom had transitioned, but now I understand, right? Love transforms when we give ourselves permission to also transform and transition from this lower vibrational frequency and open ourselves up to abundance, right? Because my grief journey has taught me to be grateful. My grief journey has taught me to reinvent myself. It has taught me to be intentional with my time, with people who come into my life. It's also taught me how to be empathetic with people who are currently grieving because there's so many people right now who are grieving the world that we live in and they need space. All grief deserves ample time to have space. I'm a firm believer in that. And it also has taught me to forgive because my father was an absent parent. I love him to pieces and God rest his soul. But it's interesting to me how when my father was absent, his absence taught me to be present in my life, and his absence taught me to be present for other people who are currently grieving. And this is why I'm going to say this now, even though I'm not supposed to, but I will. But I'm actually going to be facilitating my first grief groups in the next couple of weeks in person. And I'm really excited because I know there's so many people who need that connection because grief makes you want to isolate because there's shame, right? Cindy, what you mentioned, Therese, about the shame busting, right? There's so much shame when we're grieving because we feel as though we're a burden. We don't want to keep telling everybody about our grief, about our loss. But that's the love energy that we need to get out of our system. Our stories, your stories are valid. Those people who were in your life for that season meant enough to you. And that's why that love energy is still there. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, my beautiful Portia. So Dawn said such a powerful insight, Therese. Brad said sending love and hugs, Portia. Dawn said grief is love with no place to go. Yes, my Portia. Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you, my beautiful Wendy. All over to you.
Well, you guys are amazing, and it's just wonderful listening to you all. And Portia, I can really relate with your experience of grief and how you can feel quite lost. What we're talking about today is really incredible in the fact that we're talking about connection, because what are we doing right now? We're connecting. We're connecting because why do we need to connect? Because it gives us meaning and purpose in life. But not only that, it's connecting with the people that love us for who we are, that we matter, that we can be ourselves, that we're not perfect. And, you know, one of the things that really hit me hard was a quote that Robin Williams said when he was alive. He says, you know, the worst thing about in life was to be alone. He says, but it was when you were in a room with people that made you feel alone. And I know what that felt like. And my story is that I grew up in quite a strict household. My parents were children of the war, and so there was not a lot of emotional connection, but there was a lot of people pleasing expected and perfection required. So I felt very empty. And when I was 17, I met a boy who was not of the same faith as me, so I was given an ultimatum to stop seeing him or move out of home. Now, I knew about 300 people, and I had to make a decision. Was I going to stop seeing this boy, or was I going to leave the tribe that I knew? So I left the tribe that I knew. And I did not have contact with my parents for 8 years. And what happened over that period was that I explored what it was like being me. But not only that, is that I got married. My parents didn't come to my wedding, which I didn't expect. But what really hit me hardest the most was I got pregnant, and at 5 months, my baby girl, my firstborn, died of heart failure. That nearly finished me. So for many years, my heart was hardened because I was so sad. And I wondered if God was punishing me. And I realized that he wasn't punishing me. And it was a dear friend of my mother, actually, that caught up with me a few years ago, and she said to me, Wendy, and this is really important, because if we don't feel that we matter or that anybody notices, we can feel the loneliest person in the world. And she said to me, Wendy, all those years ago, she says, when I looked at you, honey, she says, you look like a flower in a storm. You were blowing around from pillar to post. And she says, I saw you and I saw your heart, but she says, I saw the pain in your face. She says, I used to see the painted smile, but I could see the pain in your eyes. And that meant the world to me, because it was one person who noticed, one person who saw me. And so even though I went on to have 4 beautiful children, there was still a lot of sadness. And so I decided I needed to explore why I was feeling so sad. And what I discovered was that after a lot of research and study, when you have, I pretty much had complex post-traumatic syndrome, which was a result of my childhood and what happened with my daughter. And it was just that, suck it up, carry on, nobody wants to know about it, you just carry on. What I thought, I can't carry on, I need to find out what on earth is going on, because I wanted to feel happy and joyous. So after all this research, 3 years of research, I understood what happens to the brain, the body, the brain, our nervous system. What happens when we don't get the love that we need growing up? And it was life transforming. I mean, transforming. I've got something special to tell you today, is that it was 33 years ago today that my beautiful girl passed away, and I'm on your show. But I am living I'm so happy. I'm helping so many. And do you know what my mantra is? My mantra is, I am living for you, not dying because of you. I'm living for you, not dying because of you. Now, I have written a book. It's called Why Me? How to Regain Hope After the Death of a Child. And part 1 is my story. Part 2 is all the lessons we need to know about how to deal with life, because we're not taught about life. We're taught how to accomplish, what to be, but not who to become.
Wow. I'm so sorry to interrupt, my beautiful Wendy. Your story is magnificent. The first time I heard it, my heart was so overflowing with love for you. So, my beautiful viewers, if you want to know a little bit more about Wendy, in everywhere I've put all my guest connection points. So please connect with them. So actually, we have 6 minutes left for our show. It went so fast, and I really wanted to bring in my miracle man and Susan. So, my miracle man, can you tell us in 3 minutes? How do you feel about this topic? And I'm so sorry that I have to rush the two of you now. I'm truly sorry. But Howard, all over to you.
Sure. So I want to tell you that life is an understatement. It can certainly get messy, but we are better in cleaning it up together. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. And I say this every day in the mirror. We are all just a work in progress. Give yourself some grace. So in myself, in my story, putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, emotionally, physically, financially, and in relationships takes real work. It doesn't just come to you. But my biggest secret is to go lift up others. Use your light to lift up others, and you will lift up yourself. And that's the start of the journey, okay, to better and heartfelt and deeper connections. And then we all, our lights join, and we are a big torch and a flame shining the brightly together. And that is where the journey leads you.
Wow. Thank you. I want to cry now, my beautiful Albert. That was profound. Thank you. So there's a lot of love for you, my beautiful Wendy. They see you. Sabona means they see you, they hear you. And beautiful message from Michael to Howard and also from Dawn. My beautiful Susan, can I give the floor to you, please?
What life is to realize and know how much you matter, what a gift and how valuable you are in the world. And sometimes we, in our circumstances in our life, we don't always have that reflected to us. I was blessed that was reflected to me. I just had a very just happy, joyful life growing up, and just I know that I brought in the circumstances of my wonderful husband, my children, and my heart moment was when my father passed away, kind of similar as Portia was talking, and that grief really led me to say, okay, what am I meant to be doing with my life? I loved what I was doing. I was great job, great family, software engineer, all was great. But it was that turning point that said, okay, there's more for me. And I really started a very proactive, what is that? And that's what brought me to the energy healing. And it had me look at a different way of what people need and what holds us up, and how we can, step out of where we were, forgiving what happened, because, you can't live in the past. These things happen. Yes, they're hard, they're painful, they're sad, but we get to choose for ourselves to forgive those circumstances and choose what you want to do moving forward, because we really do all have a huge purpose that we were each created for. And, we need to play our piece in our whole, puzzle of life to be able to, have the whole world flow and work in that loving space. And so I would just ask you to, write down sometime, whose back do you have and who has your back? And those can be both, physical people, animals, but truly, the divine is part of that. And for me, talking to God regularly, talking to the angels, asking for their help, because they can create such a different experience in our life that really is so magnificent that we just need to be able to step in and move in that direction and utilize the love and the support that we have all around us, and be that love and support for somebody else.
Wow, that's incredible, Susan. Thank you. My beautiful viewers, I hope that you have enjoyed this amazing topic, Journey to Heartfelt Connection, with my amazing guests. Please follow my beautiful guests. And if you need them to come and inspire on your podcast or on your TV show, connect with them. What I wanted to say is that we are not alone. And for me, if we can cover the world with love, the world will be an amazing place. So, my beautiful guests, please stay on the line. I'm going to ask you for a quick dance, a snippet of a dance, and then we will wave goodbye. My beautiful guests, will you have a dance with me? Thank you, my beautiful viewers on E360. Will you have a dance with us? They said yes, they said yes. Here we go.
Oh, there's magic in that light. Sprinkle me with fairy dust. Watch me take to the sky. Singing, dancing, soaring high above.
Bye bye, everyone.